Going live. Ball is rolling. Laptop's being plugged in. We're on time today. Today is a good day. Got to do a lot of research tonight to make up for Monday. Apologies I couldn't make it. Had a lot of different things going on. Just got my taxes done. Picked up my girlfriend from the airport Sunday. Got to see her again. So a lot of different stuff going on. But hey, I'm here. Let's do this. Let's research some GameStop, Web3. Get it some stuff. I'll change the stream overlay a little bit. Trying to get the chat going on the side here. Just doing things brick by brick, step by step. And yeah, thanks for all being here. Appreciate you. And Jackson's 321. You got it right. I'm about to bring that up first. GameStop has announced their official earnings, and thank you for being here, Jackson. The hopium is flowing. Let's go. So yeah, today, if anybody didn't see, GameStop did go ahead and announce the official earnings date for Q4 as well as the full year of 2022. And that date is going to be March 21st, aka 3-21, which is 3-2-1. Well, that was backwards, but 3-2-1, which is, get the tinfoil on. You know what I'm saying? It could mean anything, but it's awesome. Mahari, thank you for being here. Freshmaker, appreciate you. Can't stop, won't stop, Wingstop. All right, Beagle, I'll take it. But hey, I usually say can't stop, won't stop, GameStop, but Wingstop's all right. I don't know if I told you guys, I'm going to launch a video soon. I did the Hot Ones challenge, and it was pretty fun. Honestly, that set is expensive. Yeah, it's such a waste of money, but now at least I have a lot of hot sauces, and it was a really fun experience with my friends. I have some of them in the video, so I'm trying to get that together soon, but that should be cool. Speaking of wings. But yeah, the official earnings date is going to be the 21st. It's going to be a Tuesday. So I should be able to work from home that day. So I'm actually hoping for this. Catch the earnings call and then maybe do a live stream immediately after earnings for that particular day. Just considering it all really depends how busy I am if I can read the earnings. Because usually I get off at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So if the call's at 5, will have I had a chance to read the earnings? Probably. But I don't know. It depends. Sometimes work gets busy. So launching in 3-2-1. I think you could be right, Whiskey. Thank you for being here. But a topic I want to go into today, I'm sure as you've all heard, is Web3. And I apologize. I don't know why my computer's being slow as crap already. Pretty annoying. But also, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I've decided what I'm going to work towards right now. And that is a nice PC. But the problem is I have to figure out where I'm going to set it up once I get it. But I'll worry about being able to afford it first. And the reason I have this game pulled up right now is I saw Dr. Disrespect playing it, and I wanted to show you guys Dr. Disrespect's Twitter. Something he said the other day. It was pretty interesting. I don't know if anyone saw it. And I swear I didn't even know he was going to tweet this or had interest in Web3 in any way. And I actually, I always knew who he was. Of course, he's a very memorable face, but I didn't really actually check out his content. I was randomly binging it last week, funny or just shorts and just funny stuff he does. I don't know. And I watched his first ever video, and just best of Dr. Disrespect. He's just hilarious. He's I'm a 2-time back-to-back. That's awesome. It's all mojo. I love it. But if this wants to load, I would want to show you that he tweeted about Web3 the other day. And Meagle says, do you think it's profitable? I think very likely. I would say nothing's for certain. Just considering it's Q4 and so is GameStop's historically strongest quarter. But even if there is profitability in Q4, it honestly doesn't have me that excited or as excited as you might think. I'm more so looking at what are going to be the numbers in Q1, Q2, and Q3 of 2023, because I want to see what the company's operating day to day, and especially a high inflation environment, and just how can they adapt to this unique time we're in where there's high inflation, consumer spending is not what it was a year ago. How are they adapting to all these various things going on? So that's what I think will be really interesting to see in terms of profitability. But hey, any quarter that's profitable, I'm not going to look at it and be like, oh, this means nothing. It's going to be a great sign. Don't get me wrong. But imagine trying to extract an item you discovered worth 100,000 on the chain. Think about the entertainment value as a viewer, let alone player. A new player versus player experience is upon us. The concept of digital collectibles in an online game is so exciting to me, especially an extraction type of game. People saying scam and are just brand dead headline followers. Same people that spend a ton on skins for an annual release game. Same skin everyone has too. And like he's kind of right because I feel like I've talked to people that game and I'd say, oh, like NFTs. They go, oh, I'm like, but it's not going to be like the like bored apes like in your game. Like it's not like weird art just going to be in the game. It's going to be like about the utility and like people just read the headline or just are know the negative connotation of NFTs that's kind of happened and just gone on for a while, and then everybody just like, oh yeah, screw NFTs. Yeah, everybody hates those. Yeah, yeah, I hate them too. Yeah, why? Why do you hate them? You know, they're stupid. People scam. Okay, but what about the gaming side of it? You know, they could do the same thing there. How would they do that? They just could. Like those are usually the arguments. Like it's silly. It's like people don't actually see what's really happening here. And you can disagree. That's literally fine. And people can disagree. But when you disagree without like a valid argument, like I don't even go down the road once they start doing it. I go, okay, well, let's just keep an eye on GameStop. That's all I'm saying. I believe in it. You could disagree. But like it's not even worth trying to like over pitch it to them if that makes sense. But I thought this tweet was really interesting. And the fact that I just so happened to start watching this guy and he's like talking about Web3 is pretty exciting. And you have to wonder, would he partner with GameStop's marketplace? That'd be huge. Like Dr. Disrespect is huge. And like looking into him a little, I'm like, damn, this guy really is a big deal. And like he's been on YouTube, like his first ever video. I know he used to be like a Twitch streamer, but his first ever video was like literally 12 years ago, and it was like pretty funny. It was just like him and like was it Black Ops 2 or something? No, it was like Modern Warfare 2, just like I don't know, just like stupid stuff. Like hilarious. What's up, Tetron and dudes? Danzo, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Freshmaker, thank you for being here. Wendy, hello. Thank you for being here. Whole gang's here. The usual crew. I appreciate you all. Oh, I just realized I forgot to tweet out this stream. I'm going to do that from my phone real quick. But yeah, I definitely want to keep watching Dr. Disrespect. He cracks me up. And like generally, I just really like watching his content and kicking back. Like he's just entertaining. But I want to look into it more. Like, what is Midnight Society? I started looking at it. It's an AAA game studio from Dr. Disrespect, a few other people. The game is called Dead Drop. Enter the tower. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know why my computer wants to be like this today. I should have gave it like a solid restart before the stream, but it is what it is now. See, like, what is this? I don't know. I don't want to do too many things at once here. This is already not cooperating, but SMH. But yeah, really what I wanted to do today was just dig into Web3 and like what can GameStop really do to enable growth with Web3? Like how is it really going to happen? Like we talk about it, right? And it's like, oh yeah, the in-game items, but like what games are going to be on there? Are streamers going to be involved, like such as Dr. Disrespect? Are games that are not currently Web3 capable going to onboard? Like if they're incentivized, for example, with like Immutable X's like grant program. So I wonder about like a lot of different things like that. So I really think those are some of the X factors, and that's kind of what I want to dig into tonight. And I'm just gonna go ahead and tweet this out. You know, I don't know if I said this before, but why have swag when you could have swag? Got a fresh cup of coffee here, you know, like coffee just gets you going, you know, so you just gotta be fired up for the stream, fired up to do some work after this. Like I'm really trying to grind. Like I feel like I've been saying for a while, like, oh yeah, I'm like trying to figure it out, this and that. But I just feel like lately now it was really starting to make sense. Like I know I want to do this YouTube thing. I want to do this streaming, this video. Like I just want to talk. Like I just share what I think, bounce ideas off people, and like I'm just trying to go in all in on this. So I'm really big things are coming, guys. Big things are coming. Get ready. I have some big plans. But then it says, hoping we can get your opinion on the token saga and how bad or not suppressing the president, if there's a resolution or not. Xbit, thank you for being here. Gotta say hi real quick. I've already seen weapon skins for Undead Blocks. Love to see it. I actually want to play that game as well. And Danzo, yes, I'm glad you reminded me about that. That is something we're also going to take a look at. I know when I had tweeted the other day, you had tweeted at me. But yeah, I know what you had asked was essentially, could creating the tokens like affect the price in any way? So I feel like it's not that it affects the price like directly. It's more so. Oh, hold on one second. Let me just quickly tweet this out so that I'm totally rolling. Perfect. Okay. Now we're chilling. So what I was getting at here is Pull it up. Turned off. So yeah, without any one-for-one support, the casino doesn't affect it directly. So I don't think it affects it directly. I think it's more so the token, if it's like used as a locate, it's like, oh yeah, like we have this position, but it's in a derivative that's in a swap. That's like, yeah, it's located there. Like, or if somehow the tokens were considered to be seed co shares, it's like any market maker could be saying, yeah, I'm writing an options contract. Yeah, I have the shares like in this located spot. But what if somehow the locate is not actually locatable? It actually just winds out some like windy road. It just leads you to the token. It's like, wait, that's not actually one for one. And then I thought about, didn't FTX say a while back, and then we'll get back to Midnight Society, that FTX tokenized stock GME, they said, I believe it was like a German brokerage firm. And if there was a German brokerage firm behind it, remember when the stock dividend happened and the German brokers were saying like they were having problems processing it? I was like, wait a minute, what if that's connected? So the truth is, I feel like nobody truly knows exactly the purpose of tokenized stock, but the fact it's created the day before the buy button was turned off, you can't help but scratch your head at that, right? I mean, it's just like, really? What impeccable timing. Like, come on. Like, that's just, there's no way. And with FTX blowing up and it still trades, it's like, why would it still trade? And now Silvergate's blowing up. Like, it just keeps getting spicier over time. But I wanted to see. Let's see. It's gonna be garbage articles probably. Oh, what is this? 198. That can't be right. Damn, I forgot where I saw it. But if anybody knows the name of the German brokerage, that's what I want to cross-reference to see if that had anything to do with the stock dividend, maybe. Oh, I gotta check back on the chat here. Need to get better at blocks, turn around, and where the enemies come from. The warning. Yeah, I think Marantz was off today. And yeah, I gotta try on dead blocks. But again, guys, I need like a real PC. Like I have a Windows 7 fucking PC upstairs, and then this Surface laptop. So I just gotta get a real thing before I could like really game. Just educate people. If you can't sell your skins, weapons, etc., you don't know them. The stigma of the term NFT will fade. Project Burpees, thank you for being here. And I think that's a straight fact because it's just a name. It's a digital. Damn. All right, we're back. I don't know what happened. Got hacked real quick. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, okay. So like when shorts need to close, you have to buy all those back, essentially IOUs, the tokens. That's kind of the theory, Danzo, right? And then GameStop shut down all 14 stores in Germany. Very good point, XP. You have to wonder if there's some ties there. That's a very good point. But what do you game on? Oh, so honestly, I only have a PS4, but I don't really use that anymore. Like, I actually just played Fortnite the other day for like the first time in a long time. And honestly, now I still play like classic games like on my PC, like Minecraft, like League of Legends, or anything that can still run on that PC. So like most of my time now too, obviously, I'm trying to do like YouTube and streaming, and like I go out a lot too. So like I like and actually like my favorite games when I have friends over. I love gaming on the Wii. As stupid and corny as that sounds, like I love classic games. Like super and classic to me is like it's nostalgic, like Super Mario Bros, like Mario Kart, even like Wii Sports. Like just having some beers with the homies and playing that is like such a fun time. We have more than 14 stores in Germany. I gotta see. Let's see. Okay. So first, let's see. Tokenized stocks, FTX, German broker. Let's just see German and see what comes up. They closed like 70 from the 170. Good looks, Freshmaker. Honestly, I wasn't sure of that off the top of my head, but I did remember hearing they were going to close some a little while back. Do not think that tokenized shares are FDIC insured. If the exchange goes down, they might not be bought back. That would be crazy, XBit. But even if it is the case, it's like just the fact that like it exists and just the fact there's question marks, and I honestly feel like if they just disappeared, like it's still such a massive thing going on. because it's still being shorted like to this day. I don't know. So many different thoughts here. Oh, CM. Okay, okay. This is it. I remember it. CM Equity, an investment firm. Let's pull up some of these. Force arrest spoke about the alleged news with GME and AMC stocks. So did he start saying too much? That's crazy. Kidding. Of course, they have to tie in this name, this popcorn cheese. Fruits of the largest fruits of this back door. Let's see, what did he say? Before his arrest, SPF gave an interview with Unusual Wells. Among other questions, he was asked about whether tokenized shares of GME and AMC were back. He answered that he thought they were. However, Bankman-Fried also said, or Fried, whatever the clown's name is, also said he doesn't have an updated answer after the FTX collapse. But he added that he considers this a reasonable question and is committed to giving a better answer soon. Where is it, though? How could have FTX influenced it? Should them need to borrow shares of their trades. Borrow rates currently stand 7.5% annualized. Okay, so this is useless. This is what I'm reading. But what I really want to look at, like, what is M Equity AG? Let's see. So during Moss, they're gonna just burn the exchange. You're saying? That's a good question, Danza. I feel like it's so hard to say because it's such a, like, I don't know how to put this other than, like, it's just bullshit. Like, have you ever heard of a tokenized security? What the hell is the point of that? You just get the security itself, right? So it just doesn't make sense. And it's like it could have only really been created, right? Unless there's like something weird surrounding it. It's just like whatever it is, you'd have to think, however it was put into place, it has to unravel in some way. But I don't know. Like truly, I don't think anybody, like, there's no definitive answer, but whatever it is, there's got to be some slimy ties. Let's see. My broker, Trader Republic, made a stock split for GME, reversed it, made a stock dividend, reversed that into a stock split again. Huh, that's interesting, Freshmaker. I didn't actually hear about that, but any just activity like that I find very strange. I've never heard of anything like that. Wow, AMC. Yeah, AMC trash. Hello from California. LM, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. In the fine print, no insurance. Gotcha, expect, gotcha. Yeah, with the tokenized shares, it's one of those things I've always kind of glanced at, but I would say I've never dug like super deep into it, just because, like, one, it puts you in a mental pretzel, and two, I like to just focus on the company themselves, and I feel like ultimately all these rumblings and just shady things that go on behind the scenes, if the company just succeeds, grows, maintains good financials, everything else is inevitable. Everything else bubbles to the surface naturally over time. And oh, look at that. Entering the era of crypto investments and digital finances. And digital finance. So, very interesting. And what German brokers were having issues? That's what I want to find out again. Crypto going to pay for MOS or what? Hey, I don't know. Stream B. That would be crazy. But, like, I guess in what sense? Like, they're going to just dump crypto prices just to kind of cover the cost? No, not the best. Let's see, stock dividend. Liquidate, yeah, makes sense. I would say, if we just see, like, because the crypto pump, like, after it started dropping after FTX, and now it's like doing okay, even with all the Silvergate stuff going on, like, it does seem weird. Not German stocks. I just want to get some names. Comdirect. Essentially, what I want to see is, does CM Equity have any ties? Should I contact him right now? Should we put together like a group message and be like, just wanted to follow up about when you used to be partnered with FTX. Whatever happened to those tokenized securities you were offering? Sounds like the GME split dividend has completely destroyed some brokers' back office system. You hear about the nightmare dealing with TD Ameritrade. Overseas brokers having serious problems, struggling to getting shares to people. Okay. Generally, spikes in possible. This split as a dividend has exposed a lot more problems. Holding shares of customer Finner should investigate. Psh, like that ever happened. Treated inventories. Oh, bro, why is this in my feed? Garbage. This account is a clown. What's that other one? Salvatore Mean Lord. I think that's the biggest clown of all. But damn, no broker names here. Let's see. Yo, I'm late as fuck. It's all good, John Jar. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Heard you, even though it cut out. Take care. Now you're good, Project Burpees. No worries. Have a good night if you gotta go. Yeah, this is annoying that my computer's going very slow right now today. I wish I already had this shit open. But where is it? Direct. I want to see if they have any ties. No, what is? Oh my god, what is it? Direct. Am I even be able to translate this? I can't read German. But I gotta wonder if any of these people have any ties to FTX in some way. I'm looking as if like somebody would stand out as familiar. Member of the executive board, CEO. I just want to see maybe is there any ties here. Let's go to English. Okay, sure. What about us? Let's see. Let's see. You can mute words on Twitter. Try it. Good Wilkes Project Burpees. Yes, I did remember. Like I knew that, but like I forgot it. Like I haven't really like thought to do it. Like I honestly just kind of always been like whatever. But I honestly should because like I don't want to see like certain things in my feed. Here, buddy, ready to go to the moon? Jay, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. It's all part of the ride, you know? All the great vibes. But yeah, where is. No, this. What about who works for you? Um, let's see. Maybe Direct board or executive team. Because it'd be really interesting if there were some ties to this CM equity. And I want to dig into CM equity more because it's funny, you know, even after FTX on their main screen here, they're literally putting like crypto. Oh, it's in a different language. Crypto investments like on the front, and it's like, but I guess it's actual cryptos themselves. Digital financial market world. And also, honestly, a quick side note: isn't it interesting how right after FTX, all these like major firms, like I think I saw like Fidelity and a bunch of them like working together to like trying to create their own crypto exchange over time and stuff like that. And it's like, really, oh, now that FTX is gone, and suddenly you all want to create like exchanges. I thought crypto was stupid. So you know, you just gotta wonder. And damn, I don't know why this PC is going mad slow tonight. This is literally useless. You got one guy for me? That's crazy. Michael Mandel, is he here? It's in the last page. That would have been crazy to see now. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to figure out. That you'd really have to go down the rabbit hole. My computer would have to be operating a lot faster. But something I do want to point out back here, then I kind of want to switch over to just the Web3 side of things. I don't want to look at this. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. Why is this shit so slow? This is like not anyone else really on the internet. Like some random other stuff open, but come on. So this right here, I don't know if anybody saw this. Highly recommend doing it where you can like get the emails. I forgot exactly where it is. Contacts. So that was the official earnings date, by the way, 3-21, 321. Oh, this is cool. You can contact. Oh, look at that. For transfer agent matters. That's pretty dope. I didn't even know that was there. I forgot. Newsletter. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is absolutely the best source for information when you want to research GameStop stock. The company themselves. It's no BS. Excuse me, no opinions. It's what the company is saying they're doing. It's the best source of information. The company themselves. But I highly recommend, whoa, don't look at all my emails. that, from over time. Put your email in here. Get updates when the company does SEC filings. I think I have it set up for everything. Like I get an email like Tetron Invest for anything that happens with the company that's filed. So let's get this going. Yeah, compensated in shares. Look at that. At a low price, direct ownership, beneficially owned, up to 103,000 shares. Not a whole lot more, but hey, it's a little bit more. Or is this a purchase? Let's see. See, and also explanation of responses. The reporting person, Diana, did not sell any shares on the transaction. Rather, shares were withheld by the issuer on a vesting of restricted stock to cover applicable withholding taxes, with the number of shares withheld based on 3-1-2023. So essentially, you have to remember that these individuals running GameStop are now being compensated in shares. However, they're still going to go ahead and be taxed on what they're being compensated. So, what they're believed to be taxed, they're putting like X amount of shares to be just the same way you would withhold some of your money, like from your job on your W 2 for your future taxes. I think some shares are being withheld. That's what this little line here is essentially telling me. But again, very clear, not a sell. And if you look at GameStop insider activity, nobody's sold in a long time. So excited for earnings though. I really want to see what's next with the company. I really, really do. And I really want to hear some stuff on Web3, but I feel like, and this is just a feeling, right? There's literally no logic behind this. So don't like be like, oh, Tetron said, but what I'm getting at here is if we don't hear about Gmerica or Web3, I don't think we're going to hear about Gmerica on the conference call. That'd be crazy. But I feel like we're going to hear about something in regards to Web3, some kind of partnership or something. Like it's just been so quiet for so long. And if you're betting against the company, like that has to like drive you a little nuts, or like you have to be a little bit uncertain, right? Like it's a different kind of game studio. Core principle of transparency and open development. From as early as the creation of the very first weapon environment and gameplay systems, we ship playable builds of our games to our massive community of players. Started by 4 industry veterans, the studio has grown to over 50 AAA developers from the largest franchises in the world, Call of Duty, Halo, Fortnite, alongside hundreds of thousands of community members who sign up to play in development snapshots of our first game, provide crucial feedback for the team. Playable from day zero. Dread Drop has been playable on our dedicated players, known as variants or founders. Playable continues to be updated every snapshot, introducing new weapons, environments, gameplay systems, mechanics, as well as requested features. As the game grows, so does the community. Welcome a wider group of players to drop in, collect rare loot, and fight for the right to claim the Dead Drop. Unlock your potential, view jobs. So strap in and hold on. Fast-paced, high-octane, and inspiring home for your game developed talents. And the site is currently hiring across all disciplines. Maybe I should apply there. That'd be pretty dope. Yeah, I was freaking some things at work like, I don't even want to get into it. Just in case somehow, some way, somebody's watching something, watching the stream from my job or something. I don't want to. It's nothing even that bad, but I don't know. Just over time, like I've been in my job for a little while now, and just like anything else, using for a while, like it just gets repetitive, and you just kind of start to be like, yeah, like I love to do YouTube full time, but I got a long way to go before that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to start grinding. But if GameStop announced a partnership with Midnight Society in some way, I think it'd be very exciting because then you have Dr. Disrespect on board, which he's huge. And I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this in general, whether or not it winds up having correlation. Just because I think everything that's being talked about, especially like right here, like in this area, like open development, creation of everything, like just if you kind of read these two different things here, touching the screen as if you guys can see my finger. But each of these I think are just like short, sweet points right on their website. It's like this sounds like Web3 innovation in gaming, and it's through not just Doctor Disrespect. There's like three other guys involved. I don't have the names off the top of my head, but essentially, if they're playing it on their streams and like they have huge followings themselves, it starts to bring attention to this stuff over time. And I think that's how over time the negative connotation of NFTs can kind of go away because it just starts getting called different things like digital collectibles, um, digital items, and just things like that. And just the name will go away, or people, I just don't think it'll ever be called an NFT. The name's too destroyed at this point. And ultimately, just people who want to use it that are big names using it is going to encourage just the average person to use it. Be like, all right, well, I always watch Doctor Disrespect, and like if he's doing it, like, all right, why not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like those are the right kinds of things, and that's maybe what GameStop was referencing about future partnerships. Or like, imagine they took us, or secretly, right? Or, I mean, not secretly, but they start take like GameStop has a stake in like Midnight Society, or like there's a partnership. Things like that start happening. It's really just about like the ecosystem and bringing everything together, and how whoever GameStop partners with, how can they benefit as well? What does GameStop have to bring to the table? So I think that's just kind of some thoughts on Web3. We'll check chat. Um, let's see. I think it's official. BBBY has nothing to do with G America or GME. That narrative is coming from bad actors. Jerry Diamond, BBBY is like AMC trash. Yeah, no, it's certainly a controversial topic. But Marantz has been doing a great job of covering us with his series. Connect the Dots. I really haven't sat down. I'll be full disclosure. I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing, but I'm a clown. I should, because any like little bits of any of them I've watched. I only watched like the first full video. But I just again because I'm trying to do too many things at once. That's always my problem as an individual. I want to do like everything always, and then I feel like I get nothing done because I'm trying to do everything at the same time. If that makes sense, but if what it's there's evidence in those videos, and like Marantz, it's no BS, and like watch the full thing for yourself, do the research for yourself. But there does seem to be some interesting ties, and I start to become suspicious, and also just the big narrative of we all have to DRS BBY now, and like I don't know, I just there's I don't wish anything bad upon anybody in it, and like if you believe in it, that's fine. But it's just simply not GameStop, and just any like, oh, this is the next GameStop. Like I've just become extremely weary of. So I just focus on GameStop in terms of that. But yes, Marantz, yeah, he's certainly a character. That guy. I gotta stream with him again soon. He's awesome, man. He's been so good to me. Like he shouted me out so many times, like literally for no reason, like on his stream. So he's just been really good to me. So I appreciate him a lot. You guys should all check him out. Fights through the research. He's so fast. That's facts, XBit. Like Marantz grinds. This dude grinds. Like I feel like I'm a lazy bum compared to Marantz. Like don't get me wrong, it's not about comparing, but like this man never stops. Like he's like I really admire it. Like I really do. Uh Jerry Dunn, poser meaning account that looks like a GM investor but promotes BBPY. The con is on. That's a good point, Jerry Diamond. I'll show you a great example of this. There's this interesting account that follows me on Twitter, and every once in a while he comments. I think I put this on the other stream. God, why is my computer so slow today? I'm gonna have to start like doing a song and dance on live to keep just while this shit is loading. Like, but really, I appreciate all of you being here so much and like just this journey of investing at GameStop and just learning about Web3 and learning how to stream. Like, it just becomes more awesome over time. And it sounds stupid to keep saying that. And like, I just really want people to see me grow as an individual because I really feel like when you see that, like, I feel like I've seen it with other people and I'm like, damn, if this person could do it, why can't I? So like, I'm not saying like I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I hope you don't take that the wrong way. But I'm saying is like, if you see me just working through things and just figuring things out and like going through shit, like you should too. Like everybody can make their own progress if that makes sense. And like this channel has kind of just become a, a track record of just talking about GameStop and some of the things that have happened, and just eventually I want to talk more about just some personal finance stuff and just maintaining your wealth and just bettering yourself. Like I don't know. I even consider possibly rebranding from Tetron Invest to just Tetron. And I do still want to primarily make GameStop content. And I'm always going to focus on GameStop, so don't think otherwise. But I don't know, just some other things in my mind. But this account, right? Um, this is one I'll show you, Jerry Diamond. And you should all see this too. This account. Boas right now with the purple circle, like moon. Hashtag Moas. When moon. Like, it's just like random retweet. When moon. When fucking moon. When moon. Like, just trying to like push the narrative like, oh, people are impatient. Like, I guess, like, I don't know, what could this count be? I don't know what he replied today, but see, he like, who are the GME boss? Like, what does that even mean? I've I'm a college graduate, bro. Get on my level. But look how he like consistently replies to me this account, Moas right now. And it's like, I've really not talked about the term Moas, I feel like, as much lately, because again, I've been saying it now and like I'll keep saying it. There's undoubtedly, in my eyes, my personal, humble thoughts and opinions, that shady things happen surround GameStop stock behind the scenes. But nothing of that changes. Like, none of that really changes until GameStop succeeds as a company. Then it starts to bring everything to the surface. Like, everything that's hidden underneath, way, way below the surface, is going to start bubbling up if the company inevitably has strong free cash flow, is profitable. They're not taking on debt. They're just growing their business and just operating efficiently. It's just natural that it all bubbles up, and you see a clown like this, and like the fact that people are like, whether this person's just a random person or not, just the fact that people like, just like GME meltdown was created, that silly subreddits. Have you ever heard of like people caring about you not being in something? Like, does it make any sense? Like, from the start, why do so many people care so much to call, oh, you're an idiot for investing in GameStop? Why do you care? Why do you care? Like, you can't help but wonder that, right? Like, it's very, very strange. Um, Damn, I had another follow-up point I was going to make with that. Oh, a great example of this, right? When I was saying in terms of short interest, like bubbling up and things of that nature, just anything shady going on behind the scenes, all comes down to the company's success. I talked about this on a stream a while back, and I've long been meaning to, and I'm really going to try and do it tonight, to go back on that stream, clip it together from the main points, and make a video of it. Because this company, Dillard's, is an excellent case study of how a company, like I want to show you too, it's not like they've raised their revenue very dramatically or anything like that, has delivered value to shareholders, and it's shown in the stock price. So look at their revenue year over year. Nothing massive. Obviously, this is when the whole world was upside down for a little bit, so their revenue went back. And now it's, a little bit higher than usual. It's pretty much at its highest it's ever been. Best quarter ever, it looks like right here. But essentially, what you see across the board, you're just generally flat, right? Like, look at the massive decline, obviously, again, because of unique economic times it was. The growth, again, because it's calculated based off the previous year, so now it looks like massive growth. And it comes back, and you might not even heard of Dillard's, and it's just a simple, like, generally high-end retailer. But what they did was, and also, let's see, I'll show you. They started buying back stock, and they had, like, look how much stock they've bought back over time consistently, just reducing shares outstanding using the company's free cash flow. And look at their performance over the past 5 years. Look since the dip then. And by the way, On the screenshot of when right around here, when GameStop, like you saw the screenshot of the Bloomberg terminal where it was like GameStop shorted 220% or 140. There's a couple different ones out there. The next shorted stock on that list of that screenshot is Dillard's, DDS, right? And at that time, it was 90% shorted. Look how what it's done since then. Look at this great price appreciation. And I'm going to show you something here as to why that happened. Shares outstanding decreasing, but since here, not too massive an increase, but definitely a lot of shares have been bought back. So that's just returning value to shareholders. They do 20-cent dividends per quarter. And if you look up on like their dividend history, this past December, as well as the most previous December, so December 2022 and December 2021, each time they did a one-time special dividend of $10. So anybody shorting the stock has to pay the dividend to the long because you're borrowing the share. So you owe the dividend. So a fat one-time special dividend hurts when you're shorting it. You don't calculate that in. You calculate the 20 cent a quarter in. You don't calculate random $10 you have to pay per share you're short. And where I'm going to is look how many insiders own shares. Look at this massive insider ownership. And then who are these insiders? You might be like, okay, well, what is Dillard's? It's a family of, where is it? Damn it. Anticlimactic moment. But it's run by a family with the last name Dillard. Look at this. Dillard, 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 Dillard. It's a mostly family-run company. They all registered their shares because they realized what was happening. And now it's still, decently shorted to this day, right? About 8% of shares outstanding, but 45% of the float because so many shares are registered to insiders. And in no way am I saying go run out there and buy Dillard's. I'm just saying this is a great case study. Look at how the stock trades each day. There's barely any volume relative to the shares outstanding, right? So 95,000, put this here, not the prettiest thing, but how many shares outstanding versus 13 million. That's the small percentage of shares trading each day, or like percentage of the shares that changed hands today. So what I'm saying is very liquid shares because so many of them are just held. And if you look at any single day, look how spiky it is. Another stock that's like that, and then I'm going to check chat in a minute just because I want to get this full idea out here. GameStop. It's also directly registered a lot. GameStop. So like 3.1 million shares out of like let's just say like simple numbers like 304. So that's about like 1% of the shares trading. And it's like every day somebody's just trading, but whatever, that's not the point. I mean, look at how the stock trades. This is also a stock trading generally choppy. When you look at other charts compared to GameStop, they just look more liquid. This just looks illiquid to me because there's just simply not a lot of volume. And if you just look at average volume over time, it just declines. You can't really see it here necessarily, but if you've looked at average volume over time, I feel like it's just consistently fallen. And if you look at total volume like per month, for example, like I just feel like each month it's declined. Like this isn't a monthly chart here. So essentially what I'm saying is as more individuals just directly register shares at GameStop, this stock's going to start trading more like Dillard's, and Dillard's is very sensitive. It doesn't even take a lot of volume for the stock to move a lot. And Dillard's is a company that's not even really growing. So imagine GameStop can enable growth through Web3, and they're already turning profitable. So like Web3 is what could really drive them forwards, in my opinion. And then just as a whole, just maintaining strong balance sheet, positive free cash flow, just enables them to do things like in the future if they want, even just to burn shorts with buying back shares, right? Just starting there. But I think they're investing into their growth, and they understand if there's massive growth, it's going to be really hard to short the company because then they could use that big growth in the future to buy back shares, issue dividends, do various things. Like there's so many possibilities, acquisitions, and I just think it all boils down to shareholders' value. Let's check chat. Same. Hello, Tetron. Let's fucking go. Monster Buddy, thank you for being here. The Vibingtons. But yeah, again, Dillard's, not trying to tell you to go ahead and buy it. I'm trying to say research it and understand it's a great case study. And again, I am going to try and make a video on this, so be on the lookout for it because I went through it pretty in-depthly on a stream about a month ago, I think it was. I think I called it like delivering shareholder, a great example of delivering shareholder value or something of that nature. And basically, all I did was go through Dillard's financials and just kind of show what they've done and how the stock's performed, and kind of what I just showed you right there, but a little bit better explained, I would say. But it's so exciting to be earnings coming up. Like, you have to think the company's always announcing earnings last second for a reason, right? Like, there's got to be a reason, and you got to wonder the timing. To pull this up here. But yeah, all in all, I think Web3 is the growth engine for GameStop, and I think G America is somehow going to tie Web3, as in the NFT marketplace and the wallet they created, the GameStop wallet, tie it to the e-commerce in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's like part of their own gaming, like I said kind of before, maybe it's like a variation of Steam that also has a metaverse that also you could shop GameStop directly, where you then get a digital collectible version of whatever you buy from GameStop. Maybe that's what Gmerica is. Like, so much can happen. I think there's definitely Web3 ties with Gmerica. What was I going to show you here? Wasn't it that in March of 2020? Let's see, March. This, March. What is it? Oh, brain is breaking. 3-21. That was, right coincided in here. Again, March. I mean, tinfoil hat, right? But each time during this period, like March has been the one consistent one, right? Like this January time, next January, everybody thought, oh, 1 year later, maybe something's going to happen now. Nothing really happened, right? March, we saw a big move in 2021. And then 2022, we saw it. This was a fairly big move at the time. When you zoom in, I should zoom in. So that's been 2 consistent Marches in a row, right around that date that earnings happened to be announced. Like, imagine news at the same time. But also, I want to be very clear. I don't think it's just like something happens and then the price just goes up. I feel like it's going to just be an elongated, just slow bleed upwards, just the same way it's been like a slow bleed downwards. Because I feel like anything rapidly happening, like, can't risk FOMO. Like, I feel like FOMO will come back one way or another, but if you're betting against GameStop, you can't risk like FOMO happening again. Direct registration stalls the process of internalized securities transactions. FTDs will disappear if the stock is registered as it moves. IOUs allow enough time for the volume to become dormant. You gotta switch to logarithmic charts. You're seeing it all wrong. Got you, XBit. Let me see. Can I do that on here? No. Logarithmic in the sense, I don't know. You know more than me, XBit. I gotta learn more about the charts. So also, high-frequency trading computers are able to replicate day-to-day movements using generated naked shares that are stalled by failure delivers and protected by off-exchange trading. Monster Buddy, you're definitely talking more than I know right here. I'll have to read that all again. Stalls the process of internalized securities transactions. Okay. Failure delivers will disappear if the stock is registered as it moves. Okay, that makes sense. IOUs allow enough time for the volume to become dormant. Okay. Then also high frequency trading computers are able to replicate day-to-day movements using generated naked shares that are stalled by failure delivers and protected by off-exchange trading. That would make sense, Monster Buddy, considering the high percentage of off-exchange just consistently and just most of it being routed through the dark pool and also like that high percentage of short volume. So ultimately though, I think we all kind of know that at this point that if a share is registered in your name, it's not going to be used as a borrow one way or another. So a share registered is absolutely in your name, yours to hold. But when your shares in the DTC, all these different things you said can happen because of the complexities of our markets and just the nature of them over time. We've seen that there's a lot of shady things that can happen that can essentially just kind of put the price into like an algorithm. And that's why a lot of people say like, how are like that don't understand stocks even. I just know, and like they just know me as like GameStop guy, GameStop stock guy, and they don't really know why or how or what. And they're just like, bro, this shit's still going down. Like, aren't you worried? I'm like, literally no, because it's like an algorithm. But like, I'm not gonna say that to them. They're not gonna understand it. But I understand like the price is wrong. I mean, that's just what I think. You can think differently. That's fine. But just the fact all those different things can happen with the algorithm in our markets, and it takes individual investors to directly register their shares to potentially expose these things. It's crazy. And thank you, Monster Buddy. Yes, of Dillard's to good to GameStop. Yeah, and I wonder. It doesn't seem like Dillard's had that many shares even registered. But I don't think anybody cared about like suppressing Dillard's that much. Anybody betting against it probably just like kind of ate their loss. But then again, there's still like shorts on it, so you really have to wonder. Like, there's so many question marks around it. Go to Webull, go to chart settings, go to axis, then switch from linear to logarithmic. Okay, bet. I'm literally gonna copy this X video right now so I can do this later. Oh, this Tetron channel Tetron for real, Monster Buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like at the end of the day. I mean, I'm never here. I've been very clear too. I'm not here to present anything groundbreaking. Ever come tell you like, oh, buy this. This big thing's happening. Like, I just call things like kind of how I see it and just how the vibe is. Like, that's kind of how I've done it since day one. And like, I appreciate all of you so much. Like, see the XBit, I got you. I'm literally putting this right here, so I do not forget. But yeah, just it's all just a journey. That's literally what I'm realizing. Like, just talking about GameStop and just brainstorming and learning the things like I got to use a logarithmic chart and just do some research in some different ways. Oh, what's going on here? Things falling apart. Too many things open. Oh, quick side note. The reserve ratio in the United States for banks, I think I said this last stream too, has been 0% since March of 2020. How is that possible? So the reserve ratio, for those of you that don't know, is percentage of money that like a bank's reserve ratio. If a bank's reserve ratio is 10%, if they have $1 billion worth of outstanding loans, they should have 100 million in cash. And that reserve ratio has changed over time. Part of like, fuck, I hope I don't say the wrong one. It's monetary policy and fiscal policy, but I believe it's monetary policy off the top of my head, is you can change the reserve ratio. If you lower the reserve ratio, then banks can loan more, spend more. It generally boosts the economy. And when you want to slow down the economy, or you just don't, you want to, fight back against things, like you want to have the reserve ratio then raised to kind of just, not, I don't want to say slow things down, but just keep things like under wraps. But in March 2020, we're like, oh, these are uncharted waters, reserve ratio 0. And it never went back. So the banks could all be broke for all we know. There's no reserve ratio. And like, kind of think they are, right? But it's crazy because if the reserve ratio is 0, how? Like how? How could that be like that for 3 years? Like that's just unheard of. That just doesn't make sense. And like, I gotta pull this up again now. Reserve ratio. Like, look what it's been over time. Like, this is extremely concerning. I don't even think it was 0% in 2008. Like, the amount of shorts in the market is alarming. It's like short sellers are expecting a wild stock market crash. Even registered stocks are shorted. 2008 vibes. You the man. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Monster. Thank you. And yeah, it is scary. I didn't like when it was 2008. Full disclosure, I was 8 years old. I didn't understand shit. I didn't know anything. So anything I know about 2008, I learned in school. I had to go like look back and all that. Um, Look at this, 0%. How is it 0%? And look at all these other countries. Do you see that reserve ratio like that in any of these other countries? Like, shout out Croatia. I'm Croatian, but it's crazy. How could this be? And like, this any like I don't know how this isn't talked about more. And like, okay, Morocco's one, but do we want to compare ourselves to Morocco and like the United States of America? Like, it's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. And I don't even think that's where was it? What the heck? I literally just had it here. State's reserve ratio over time. Man, good point. Reserve ratio is unprecedented. Yeah, it's crazy. And like I just saw it again recently and it was like, nah, that can't be accurate. Like it has to have been updated since. Hey, it's the way, Monster Buddy. Learning together, it's the vibes. And definitely too, I don't know if you guys are ever trying a game. When I do get my PC up, I want to try all the Web3 games with everybody out there just cause. Like I'm not very good at games, I'll be honest, like full disclosure. So like if as long as you have patience and you're not like too serious, I'm definitely down to game with you guys in the future. But look at this, okay. The low reserve amount and then the exemption. See, I guess I would have to get a better understanding of what this means. But this number's going up. Okay, wait. Okay, what the fuck does this mean? Let's see. And I apologize anybody coming on here like looking for Web3. My computer's just running so fucking slow today. So like if I start going on GameStop NFT and I feel like digging into that stuff, it's just gonna go slow. But I'm gonna try and transition there in a little bit. The reserve required position will be amount set at okay. Okay, that doesn't tell me what does it mean. Low reserve requirement. A lower means that pursuing it. Okay. Yes, but what does to cut? Oh, I guess how much they cut it by? Okay. Be fun to watch. Hey, you know it, Monster Buddy. It's gonna be good vibes when time comes. Um. Oh, okay. Maybe it's better. So these are okay. Regulatory changes to reserve requirements and indexation of the low reserve trench and the reserve requirement. What the fuck are these words? Yeah. Like, does everyone else think that when you're reading this stuff? Like, what? Why can't you just make this a little easier to understand? So there hasn't been any changes since. Okay, effective for the reserve maintenance period beginning December 27, 2012, the low reserve trench for net transactions accounts will rise from 71 million to 79.5 million. The reserve requirement exemption will rise from 11.5 million to 12.4. These actions will lower total required reserves by an estimated 971 million. Okay, then here, effective for the reserve maintenance period beginning March 26, 2020, so right after everything got chaotic, the 10% required reserve ratio against net transaction deposits above the low reserve trench level, or trench, such a weird word, was reduced to 0%. The 3% required reserved ratio against transaction deposits in the low reserve trench was reduced to 0%. Like, how? How? Like, I don't even understand how. The action reduced required reserves by an estimated 200 billion. And like, look at these other numbers here. Lowered by 1.42 million, lowered by an estimated 335 million, 1.33, 971 million, just a little bit below 1 billion. 200 times as much the next time. That's crazy. $200 billion. And I wonder, I'm like, is this all bubbling to the surface when you see the improper reporting by both Citadel and Point72? Like, you gotta wonder. Like, and has it ever become zero? Let's see this exact line here. Was reduced to 0. It's the only time. See? Reserve reduced to 10% in 1992. Okay, the 3% is liable is reduced to 0 for, okay, for the quarterly reports. Again, for reports. Non-transaction liabilities was reduced to 1.5. Okay. Again, no other instances of 0%. Like, it's crazy. And like, when you read about the dollar milkshake, for example, right? Peruvian Bull does a great job covering this. But I'll just Google it real quick. Just because Dollar milkshake theory uses a milkshake comparison to illustrate that in the same way you might suck down a delicious milkshake, the US dollar and American financial tends to suck up investors' funds globally during major crises. Crazy. But what's also crazy, what's debt to GDP? Government debt to GDP has averaged 65.2% of GDP from 1940 until 2022, reaching an all-time high of 129% of GDP in 2022 and a record low of 31.8% in 1980. Oh my gosh. It's actually crazy. It's crazy. So we were already like over it though. We were already just keeping it there. Just about 100% of our GDP was the debt. But now we're like, fuck it. We're over it, 130. And I don't want to get political, but we keep sending money to a certain place that's not the United States. And like, it seems like there's a lot of problems in the United States. And like, I'm no genius on these matters, but at a certain point, let's stop printing our freaking currency because there's insane inflation, and let's take care of our own countries. Like I find it miraculous that there's always these politicians talking about, oh, we gotta do this and we gotta do that. There's all these problems in the U.S., but then they're just sending money to a foreign country. Put the money to fix the things you're talking about here, right? I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't like talking politics. This shit just annoys the crap out of me. But yeah, I think you're right, Monster Boy. That ratio does seem a little bit off. But geez, yeah, I want to see the world population, or not population, the debt to GDP ratio for other countries. And like a big fear I have, guys, and like again, I don't know that I don't like take everything I say with a grain of salt. What if everything going on with Mr. Putin and everything? What if I don't think this is about NATO and capturing things, and full disclosure, I don't know anything I'm talking about. Like, I don't want to get too into this, but it seems like this is a war on our currency, the United States dollar. There, people who are against the United States that are not the West, they have to be thinking like, these guys don't stop printing their money. Their reserve ratio is zero, and the dollar's not backed by anything. Like, I think they see us. I feel like people who like that are not the whole thing, the West versus like Russia and the Saudis and China, whoever, would be the non-West. I would think if they're plotting something, they're just like causing chaos to let our currency collapse or just create these dramas. And like again, I don't know that much. Like I'm just saying what I feel, what I kind of see, but I'm like, is that what's really happening here? It's all just like I feel like everything in this world is like a smokescreen. Every time there's a news article or something, I think to myself like the China balloons or whatever. I was like, so what's really going on? So there's nothing going on with these balloons. There's definitely something over here. So that's why everybody's looking over here, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't want to get too tinfoily hat, but I just am very concerned about the dollar, and like the dollar is like the world reserve currency. But when the world reserve currency has the country that has the world reserve currency has debt to GDP of 128%. And again, like we were kind of saying, this number is probably not even up to speed considering we're still printing money. It's like, it's not like, I don't know. I don't know. It just boggles my mind. And I try not to read too much in the news and everything. I feel like it's just negative, and then I don't get anything done for my channel, my job, whatever. It's good to stir the eyes away from the U.S. Lots of stuff under the table. I know that countries that deal with the U.S. are experiencing hyperinflation, the U.S. dollar. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing too. I don't think that was recognized that when we did all this, printing to provide stimulus checks, everyone was like, free money, yay. I remember saying like, this is crazy. We're going to have insane inflation. And what I didn't even realize at that time, and I didn't consider it, but I think it's certainly kind of happened. It's like, wait a minute. If we were printing all the money and we're the world reserve currency, all these other countries were like, all right, we're going to go print money too and boost our, like the United States is doing it, we'll do it too. So now that like were not as much. They're like trying to retract and like now I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on with Japan. They've been in a disaster where like they raise rates and they dropped them and then they're issuing bonds and they're buying them back. Like I haven't even been keeping up, but I know there's been like a lot of weird stuff. Japan interest rates in the house. Oliver's, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, trying a new stream spot on the couch, but not the best spot right here. To get a chair next time. GDP outlook, almost blah blah blah. Great targets. Let's see, what is the latest here? Keep yield cap, ultra low rates. This is from Easy Money. All these sources are garbage, but Snacks, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. But yeah, I gotta dig into more what's going on with Japan. Let's see if there's anything interesting here off the cover. But it's CNBC, literally the most like incredible source ever. So let's see what they have to say though. It was 2-day monetary policy meeting with investors eyeing policy that could accompany Bank of Japan Governor Haruki Kuroda's final meeting. So it's basically saying the guy that's running everything's about to get fired. Okay, well this is useless. Garbage. But yeah, some weird things going on in Japan. Definitely worth looking at. But something I want to look into more is Web3 because that is what I said. I did want to talk about today, and I just wonder like what is GameStop doing behind the scenes to bring people on? Like, do they have someone out there recruiting? Like, what is the kind of process like? I know obviously creators are applying, but also when creators are applying, I should look at like the application itself. Are they applying in a way where it's like, oh, they're gonna also, enable these things to be on some of these games that are coming? So I wonder how that process works. And I wonder if also, considering GameStop's pro memberships on here, there'll be something down the line for pro members. Obviously, I'm a pro member. I like stock and I like the company, so I'm going to be a pro member. And having said that, I wonder if GameStop NFT, G America, there'll be any benefits in the future to being a pro. And if there is, excuse me, and those genuinely provide good value, I feel like it'd make sense for the company to raise their pro membership maybe to $19.99 a year instead of $14.99. And you might think, well, what's $5 going to do? But when you have millions of people signed up, like that $5 really goes a long way. And that's just another way to boost their cash flow, right? Okay, let's check out these. Oh, Congregate is very familiar. Oh my God. Crazy nostalgia. Does anybody ever play platform racing? I played this like middle school. That's what I don't know how I just remembered that, but that's what it was. Platform Racing 2, Congregate.com or something. Yes, see, I can't believe I just remember that. That's crazy. Oh my God, I want to see if I can play right now. This game was my shit. 2008. I was literally still in elementary school playing with my friends. But wow, see that's awesome. See, like this is a great part of what's happening too in my set. And that was not English. It's a great part of as a whole what's happening with GameStop is the nostalgia. People love GameStop from just remembering when you're going when you're a kid or like taking your kids and how excited they got, right? Whatever it is. And again, there's a nostalgia tie. I just recognize excuse me, the name Congregate from remembering that I played this game and went on this website, and like that just gave me so much joy right now. I'm like, damn, this was like the vibe. Game by like look at this like no. Oh, but anyway, I don't care. Tell me like a virus from this shit. Like, oh my God, I remember this loading screen too. This is so crazy. Like, I mean, to you guys are like, what is this? Maybe, but It's actually crazy. Where is it? Bitverse. If they had a new platform racing, that'd be awesome. Let's see. Bitverse Heroes. Yeah, okay, so they have a game. Look at that. Puzzle Pals. This was the other creator that's featured. That's pretty cool. They're all like puzzle pieces. Thoughts. I like that. Thoughts and opinions. Cracky Thunder Cheeks. Mad funny. Got a steak and like fishing and a fish. Solidarity the Slap Lord. But yeah, also I gotta start doing this more each stream. Just going through GameStop's marketplace and just learning more and more about Web3 and just seeing things that are happening. Alright, so log in with your Congress account to connect to the Bitverse. Link Immutable X to purchase a Bitverse hero. Click account, okay. Then sign in. Progress. Oh, Bit Heroes Runner. That's definitely gonna be the equivalent of oh, and look at that. Is it on there yet? I'm gonna check right now in the App Store on my phone. Probably not, but let's see. Look at that. Bit Heroes Quest. Is that it? Yeah, look. Bit Heroes Quest. Here we have it. Pretty freaking dope. Alright. Fuck it, I'm downloading this. Then where's Bit Heroes Runner? Can I get that one? No. Or, I don't think this is it. Sweet. Alright. Pokemon NFT drops are going to be an integral part in the marketplace. Just hope for a great future of partnerships. Yes, I think you're absolutely right, Monster Buddy. It's all about the partnerships, and Pokemon will be huge. That's going to be massive. Okay, let's see if I can play this game for a little nostalgia here. Let's let this load up. Also got Bit Heroes downloading right here. That's crazy. I literally, I swear, I was saying to somebody recently, like, what was that game we used to play where it's like we jumped like platform to platform and this and that, but this was it. Come on, yo, this has gotta load. I guess when this thingy gets to the top, is that when it loads? But damn. Yeah, I'm really thinking, guys, to soon. I don't know why this shit won't load. I really want to play. It's such a legendary game. I really want to start talking about just some personal finance stuff. Nothing groundbreaking, just like I feel like a lot of people don't even know you could have an online savings account. And of course, I don't want to give financial advice in any way. Of course, I never want to do that on here. And if you do think the banks are broke, it's kind of going against like what I'm saying here in the sense like if you're gonna have money in a savings anyway, you might as well have it in a high yield savings, like such as Discover as an online bank, Ally Bank is one of them. There's Marcus, that's an entity of Goldman Sachs. It's just an online bank. So essentially, these online banks, they don't have any overhead costs, such as like a branch office or anything like that, like your local Chase does, Wells Fargo, all those different companies, right? An online savings account is just you can call in like they do have customer service, and a good online savings account will have good customer service for phone at any time, but they don't have all those overhead costs, so they pay you like a high yield. Like right now I think you can earn like 3.5% Ally, and you think, well, how can they pay that? Well, if interest rates are like 5% right now, or like getting close to 5%, or they have like CDs with like certified deposits with other banks, because that's what banks constantly do. They just load money back and forth, and like that's the whole system, is just money on top of money on top of money on top of money. And that's why when the reserve ratio is zero, that's very dangerous, because it's a snowball effect, and you don't go any lower than zero. Like whatever. But shit, now I lose my train of thought. Essentially, they're still like making a little bit on your money they're holding, but they're willing to return a good amount to you because we're in a high interest rate environment. So they could get high interest and then turn around and pay it to the customers. So a high yield savings, like if you're just having an emergent, for example, I always say to people like, If you're having an emergency fund anywhere, you're keeping a couple thousand somewhere. Why not let it earn like 3.3 or 4% a year? Or like Fidelity right now, like probably don't trust the brokers. And again, always do your own due diligence and research. But and damn, I don't think this is gonna load. I'm gonna have to give up on it. But you got to look at Fidelity as well. You can earn 4.2% just for having cash over there in a money market account. But again, do your own research, due diligence. Make sure you always put your money where you want. But I'm just saying, like, we live in a world now where there's interest rates. And growing up, I remember people like, oh, I used to be able to earn money in the bank, and I was like, what the fuck, you can? How does that work? Because as far as I've been alive, like, or looked at anything with finance, interest rates never were higher than like 2%. When you could earn like 2% on an Ally account, like when I originally created one like a few years ago, and they dropped rates to zero again when everything happened with like the pandemic. I remember thinking like, yo, that's crazy. Like you can earn 2% now. And now we're in an environment, I'm like, what the heck? You can earn interest? And I remember learning in school and it was like, who gives a shit about bonds? Like interest rates are always zero. Why would anybody ever touch a bond when interest rates are always going to be zero and it seems like they're going to be zero forever? I didn't even understand what they talked about interest rates in school. And now I'm like, oh, we're in a whole new world now. Like, glad I at least half paid attention, right? But honestly, guys, I learned most of my knowledge in finance and stocks. I started Wall Street Bets like many other individuals out there and just reading about random shit and just watching random YouTube guys that I'm sure everybody else has watched at some point in their life, like the OG guys. And whether you think whatever you think of them now, that's fine. I'm just saying like I watched them in like their, I guess, prime days or just when things were chill. Um or just the markets were always going up, so they all seemed like geniuses, right? And they're like the first people. I'm talking about like the financial education guy, Jeremy, Graham Stephan, um, just a few other guys like that. You should kind of watch, and it's just completely different now. The world we're in terms of interest. But a bunch of people will put all their crypto on the GME wallet. Not your keys, not your crypto. Interesting. Chase takes more money than the yield. Yeah, it's crazy, monster. Chase, literally all the big names, they don't pay any interest, and they could in their savings, and it's like, why not? But yeah, Chase takes more money than the yield. Yeah, not your keys, not your crypto. It's as simple as that. And I'm happy I have my Ethereum and my Loop Ring and my GameStop wallet. And I don't know if you guys know, you can stake directly on loopring.io. You can stake wrapped Ethereum for it to be directly on layer 2. And then you can stake a pair of Loopring and Ethereum directly through loopring.io. So essentially, what you're getting paid out is like small amounts of Loopring and Ethereum because you're contributing to the network. How Ethereum changed from proof of concept, or not, fuck, that's not the word. Um, Basically, like Bitcoin's a store of value, or butchering this so bad. One is, I forgot the technical terms, but essentially, Bitcoin is more like you mine. If you mine Bitcoin, then you're rewarded in Bitcoin. With Ethereum, the whole Ethereum 2.0 like adjustment was essentially that Ethereum now is not the same as Bitcoin. It's proof of work, or every time somebody's like transacting, the people like completing the transactions are not the miners anymore. It's the people who are like staking on the network itself instead of mining new currency, if that makes sense. And damn, this don't even want to load. But your bright Tetron, lucky to have found this channel as real as it gets. Thank you, Monster. No, I appreciate all the love you're showing tonight. And yeah, I just share how I see it and just my perspective on things as a young individual. Because I think I've said it before, like I just used to research random stuff, and like once I found GameStop, I'm like, wow, this is just so unique. Like, how did more people not talk about this? And like, how do people not like see? Like, I remember telling people, like, don't you see? It's like the share's outstanding. Like that's, and this is a huge thing. And everyone's just like, yeah, no, I don't get it. I'm like, ah, but I feel like staking is what's taking down the crypto economy. How so, Xbit? I'm honestly not sure. I haven't heard that theory, but or you think staking in the sense like people aren't utilizing it as much, or like what's your perspective on that? Because I don't stake like a ton, but I just figure like since I have something, like I might as well stake it. We have NFTs that can mine Ethereum, Illuvium land. Oh damn, I didn't even realize that. Buckled in, dead blocks. I really want to try Curaverse. I gotta see if I can get on my Stupid Windows 7 computer. It won't run on this. I was playing Gods Unchained for a while. I actually have some Gods tokens I earned over time too. And chess, I should play that as well. That's got to run okay on here. Mortal Games. Does anybody understand what are like? Do I need to buy a piece per thing, or I guess I should just try it? Right? I don't know. I haven't tried it. See, this is also a thing. My new goal recently is I'm trying to just execute, just do more. Like I feel like I talk a lot. I mean, like don't get me wrong, that sounds bad. I mean, like I have like a lot of ideas and stuff, but like I don't actually like always just jump directly into things. I feel like if that kind of makes sense. All right, let's sign up. See if I can do that. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna load well the stream. Ethereum moved to proof of staking instead of mining to complete blocks. Gotcha. Yes. Thank you, Snacks. How does staking create value? I feel like, from what I understand with staking, and again, I have simple knowledge on this, that the money, like the crypto that's staked, is the the currency. Like, how do I put this? Just the same way, like a market maker supposedly has like a locate. I feel like staking is actual locate or like actual liquidity. So like when you're staking like Ethereum and Loopring, you're staking liquidity. So when somebody's swapping between the pair, there might not always like be the right amount of Ethereum or Loopring on hand. So your liquidity is what's out there to be used, so the blockchain can, I guess, correct it over time. All right, that's probably not the right way to put it all, but essentially it's like the liquidity provided from how I understand it. Okay, would you guys see this password? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would come up on here, but relations, Tetron. Well, if you guys hack me, I don't think it's gonna show up on here, but I mean, it's just chess at the end of the day, and I could always just change it right after the stream. I don't know what the heck is going on upstairs. Somebody's like banging on the floor. No country selected. United States, baby. Let's see. Oh, chat catching up. Staking is basically a Ponzi scheme. Everyone has allot funds for it to work for a period of time, usually a year. This is my whole point. Staking is the exact same thing banks have been doing for years, and the reason why banks are in danger. Makes sense, XBit. I always thought of it though as it's like you know how much liquidity is actually out there because of the blockchain, or like maybe know anybody like directly, but maybe I should double check this or definitely research it more. I'm kind of glad you guys are bringing this to my attention. I feel like this is something I need more knowledge on, and it's like if I am gonna have my money staked, like I should probably know a little bit more why as to its stake, as to it being stake. Research on crypto staking, because you know a good example is like if you had crypto staked on any of the, like for example FTX like directly, obviously you got fucked. Like, excuse my language, but yeah, so that's kind of concerning, right? So simple. Let's see if we can play some chess. Good old chess. Username is already used. Oh, I must have created this already then. Or did someone impersonate me? Yo, what's going on? That's crazy. That's actually wild. Let's see. For crypto is essentially, why would you buy something if you're just gonna loan it out? Stake is legit if utilized correctly. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Makes sense, XBit. You guys, I think, both have some valid arguments, and like what you guys are seeing right here between Snacks and XBit. See, a conversation, just bouncing ideas. Like that's what this stream is all about, and like that's why I'm trying to do this. And like just reading what you guys are saying, I'm like, all right, like I gotta double check this now. Like these are some interesting points brought up, and like neither of you are ripping each other's heads off. Like, isn't it crazy now too that everybody now, like, if you think something differently, it's like, how could you think this? Like, it's so crazy, right? Like, it's all about just conversing and just figuring things out. And That's why we're here, right? And Ruben, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. The vibes. Dude, I love the energy you guys bring in the stream too. Like everyone comes in and is like, "Hey, yo, everyone's here!" Like it's actually like awesome. It's crazy. Damn, I still don't want to log in. Either I already have this login, like I started this one time. Oh, I'm so stupid. It's right here. But what did I make it? And I also don't want this to pop up. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. You just play like a chill game. Okay. Free mortals, which let you play the game free and earn ageless points. Okay. I'll claim. Bet. I'll take it. Excuse me. Let's just run it up. Farmed crypto for a while before it got rugged. Damn, well, that's good snacks, but yeah, it's unfortunate how I got rugged. Anybody? Standard. Do 5 minutes because I'm not that nice. Alright, guys. Let's freaking do this. This is what it's about. Utilizing the things that are available out there. You know what I want to have back on the stream again soon? I don't know if you guys remember Nathan from Florida, the guy that said to Jim Cramer, he was like, "How is it? Oh shit, the clock is ticking." He basically said like, I don't know if you guys saw that clip. Oh, how is FTX? How is the stock market any different than what happened with FTX? And Kramer was like, "Oh, I said it right." Ah! But I had him on here, and like we had like kind of we had a good conversation. But the thing was like, I feel like it was a good convo, but at the same time, like, it was my first time interviewing someone, so I'd love to have him on again, just to kind of talk to him. And I believe I saw like he does streams, and I think he was playing chess a while. So maybe I got to play this guy in some Immortal Chess. That could be a good move for a stream. Let's see. Rube's the Titan. um, Shit, yeah, this is a lot of pressure. That wasn't the best move, but. That was stupid. Okay, well. Yeah, wow, it's hard to talk and do this shit at the same time. Alright, well, I'll force his hand, kind of. I don't know if that's going to do anything. But yeah, not a genius chess player also, just to full disclosure here. But right now, this is the game I know that will certainly work in terms of Web3 on my device. And damn, he's just straight coming after my king, isn't he? Fuck, how did I play? Psh. Yeah, I'm not good at chess. Like I'm okay, but it's so hard to like. I try to keep talking, but also like trying to find the next moves. I think this is gonna be like the one game I play. But let's see what else we got in terms of games. Maybe there's something else simple I could run in browser. Oh, damn! I just got absolutely hosed on my own stream. Like absolutely cheesed. Close. Okay, I'll come in with a little more prep next time. Go back to the games list. Is there anything else we can mess around with right now? Let's see, PC, Mac. This is cool that it's on the App Store. Anything else on the App Store yet? No, that's the only one from this list here. It would be pretty cool if Immortal could go on the App Store. I feel like I'd play some chess on the go. But I definitely really want to play all these games. Like I'm not gonna like promise to play them religiously or anything like that, but just start to get the idea of what it's like to kind of establish yourself with digital collectibles in these games. I really think that's just kind of a part of things. And I feel like more and more you see now the collections that are coming out have to do with games, or like that's really what I look forward to continuing to happen is what like these collections that are coming out, like for example, like Scrappy Origins, is this for a game in regards to like Scrappy? Like, is there some game type to this? And don't get me wrong, it's definitely cool that there's just different stuff out there in terms of the art side of NFTs, but I really think it all boils down to like utility. So like really just exploring those things is really where it's at. Um, Compass Rose. These are actually dope as fuck. Show some love. Not logged in right now. Yeah, but no game. Let's see, learn. What's anything new here? No. Oh, stats. Okay, let's see what we got. Undead Block the Zombies FPS is pretty fun. Damn, yeah, Snacks. I actually really want to try that one, but I don't. It was not gonna run on this computer. It's a Surface laptop I'm on, so the big like difficulty I have right now is I have to upgrade my setup. I need a real setup. And the problem is, like, full disclosure, I don't know if you guys know this, but like, I still live with my parents. Like, I'm just grinding brick by brick. I'm just put it this way. Like, I want to be able to invest in GameStop the way I have, and just do if I just rush out of the house, right? Also, I'm only 22, so like, I've just figured life out and shit. Brick by brick, and like I've said before, this is all part of the journey. So like, I'm trying to get a PC, but if I get it, like, this is kind of where I operate down here, but I wouldn't really be able to like set it up down here. Like I just simply don't have the setup or the electricity, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. And then it's like if I'm upstairs, I live with other people. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not like I could just be like, oh, everyone get out, I got to stream. So like I could try these games if I get a nice PC, but like if I'm gonna get a nice PC, I want to use it to stream as well as stream the games. Like that's kind of the whole point of everything I'm doing here. So I just gotta make it all happen over time. Has skins on the wallet? Did you see? Oh, let me pull this up. I remember you were maybe you were saying that before X, but I don't remember if it was you or someone else. Oh, check this out. Buck season 1. I like it. And the fact that GameStop themselves are creating it is pretty dope. So GameStop is creating I think GameStop creates some of its own games, right? Such as like the simple Bucks universe, right? Game. Or was it over here? Or I lost it, but Buck season 1. Ah, no, nothing's loading. But come on. I want to see the Undead Blocks one. Yeah, damn it. I just realized I'm looking over on like my side screen here. I should have made my webcam a little smaller, kind of blocking the chat. What I might do next time is I might slide the webcam to the left side. I don't know, I have some stream overlays to mess with. And also, guys, I'm in the horizon. I'm gonna have some people on here that I know, like some friends, like to just kind of start talking to people, and eventually, some of you guys want to come on here, maybe one day, kind of some other just individual GameStop investors, what it means to them, what Web3 means to them, just some stuff like that. But it's certainly possible. GME stock says, I think Bitcoin's the future. I'll say this, GME stock. I think, Bitcoin's certainly controversial, or like people are like, oh, could we ban this and that? But there's a finite amount of it out there. And I think, the original, like I remember I used to be super curious about Bitcoin. Like I still own some to this day, like full disclosure, but I haven't bought any like a while. And I definitely like didn't make any like crazy money off it. I used to like mess around trading it in like 2016. I was in like high school. I remember the first time I ever touched Bitcoin. I used to play poker online, maybe before the age of 21, just maybe. You didn't hear that from me, didn't say that. But essentially, when I was like really young, I was playing poker online, and it was like, how can we play without putting our ID? And like it was still newer, and like this was like what 16 maybe, so like 7 years ago at this point. Maybe it was like 15, so like 7 years ago. I remember going with my friend to like we'd walk to 7-Eleven, we bought Visa cards, and then used Visa cards to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, and then send the Bitcoin to the poker provider, and then play online. So it was like Bitcoin poker. Oh, what the heck? We have a problem. So that was my first experience with it. But then overall with Bitcoin, I think it's just, could it become the world reserve currency one day? That'd be kind of crazy. But I really think it has potential. Like I just don't believe in Bitcoin. I believe in GameStop, so that's why I'm not like consistently putting money into it or anything like that. But I really think Bitcoin does have potential for the future, but like a huge X factors are like, are they going to ban it everywhere? It's going to try and like be like, oh, it's bad, it's bad. So there's a lot of question marks. But so long as people just want to own it, that's what gives it value. And people say, oh, well, it's not backed by anything. Well, neither there's the US dollar, and look what's kind of happening with it. And nobody can single handedly control Bitcoin. But excuse me, at the same time, I think, well, excuse me, what if someone just comes in and buys a massive amounts of it and like starts just controlling a large majority of the market? Like it's just always so many question marks. Ryan Cohen did hire hundreds of programmers, right? I wasn't dreaming, right? Yeah, no, he did Xbit. I believe not as many are with the company now because considering they were doing some layoffs, I feel like it was more so for like the building side of things. But absolutely, I'm sure there's got to be still programmers working there. It's not like they just got rid of them all in a heartbeat. Shit, what was I gonna pull up here? Oh, to go back here, I didn't even really check this. Bet Heroes. Let's see, maybe this game will run on here. I also just got it on my phone. We'll go two at once. So we're loading on here. Ethereum will have a better use case. Yeah, Snacks, there's definitely arguments for both sides. I feel like I'm not like, put it this way, I feel like I haven't explained on tonight's stream crypto that well, so I hope you don't think I'm like naive with it or anything. And I'm definitely not a genius with it. I'm not trying to say that at all, but I absolutely see it in the future being around. And like, I think honestly, Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you're gonna be into crypto, those are the two because they're the big two names, and like, just name really matters. And I feel like GameStop's name is a big part of why it is what it is. Like brand name matters. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are like branded as like when you think crypto, you think those two. And because they just have the most over time that's developed and the most knowledge, I just think it makes the most sense to own those two, if anything. But of course, if you're gonna own crypto, like do your research and understand what you're getting into. And reason I don't talk about crypto too much is like I feel like I understand it and like that's why I have like small bits of it. So if it went away completely, I'd be okay, so be it. I can move on with my life. And that's why I try to, mostly focus my content around GameStop because I feel like I have the most knowledge of GameStop because I've been read about it and just fell in love with it so much. I feel most comfortable talking about it. But, I'm not going to never talk about anything else. But I guess what I'm saying is take everything I say about crypto with a grain of salt because it's harder for me to explain some of my thoughts and knowledge on crypto because I'm also not reading about it as frequently and just, yeah. Just got back from the meeting. Hyped as fuck for earnings. Ryan Sung, thank you for being here. And that's a fact. 3-21, 321. Very interesting. You gotta wonder, can that be a coincidence? A Cohen incident? Right now, I'm just kidding. But it is just funny. The little things like that always happen. But also, I'm just excited to see GameStop earnings because, like, hey, what's been going on? Let's see what's happened. Even just like basic economics, there's only 21 million Bitcoin, so no matter what the price is today, people buy over time, price will go up. Exactly, GME stock. That's kind of how I always thought of it. It's just like, like if you boil it down to like supply and demand, it's like the supply of the dollars increased dramatically, while Bitcoin supply has increased very minimally because it's designed to like be the opposite of what the U.S. dollar is. We just print more endlessly. Bitcoin is harder and harder to mine with each halving. So, and historically, each Bitcoin halving has led to a bull run shortly after. So we'll see if that happens again, if the cycle continues. That'd be interesting. So I guess you do, is there like a free one? Okay, let's see, white paper. I'm super interested in this just because it's tied to what I was saying before, like platform racing 2. I just remember that game. So log in, connect, play. Okay, let's see what it looks like on the, okay, so the app is super fucking clean. I don't know how good you guys can see this. It looks mad nice. So it's loading in right now, but I think it looks really good on the phone. And I'm gonna load it in on here as well. But let's see, I can create a new hero. Because I assume on here, I gotta go right here. But I want to make sure I don't do like two things at the same time. Let's see. I'm here, just working in the lab. Marantz, I appreciate you, man. I was giving you a shout out before because you're awesome. If you want to, collab again soon, I was gonna reach out. I think we should try and make that happen. Feeling better about like communicating. I feel like last time, when you had me on, I really appreciated that. But I feel like I didn't really like how to describe it, like come across the right way. Or I was just like so nervous. Like I didn't even have a headset, so definitely got to link up again soon, man. But I appreciate you like keeping up with my channel. I really, 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 really do. And thank you for all the love you've ever shown me. But yeah, the gang's all here. The vibes are all here. I guess. Whoa, I don't know what just happened. Damn, username taken. Tetron. Put. Bruh. Damn. I need a new username. You're good. I'll get you back on soon. I appreciate that, Marantz. I'll have to reach out. We'll make it happen for sure. Or you let me know, or whatever works for you, man. We'll make it happen. Um, do just I guess good old touch on invest. It's the next best option, right? Email confirmation. Whoa, so much happening. Okay. Crazy enough, the phone app is so much cleaner than this, but I wonder if this is also going to just have like a million tabs open. Like I said, I haven't messed with Congregate since like literally like 2008. Like I used to play that other game I was talking about before, platform racing. See, it's like so clean on here. Oh, it's disconnected. So I'm definitely curious how the computer runs versus the phone. Also, make me approve. Let's see. What up? I own most of GameStop as well. Just wanted to get your thoughts on BurgerFi. I know you made a video about it a while ago. Yeah, funny enough, GME stock. Uh, I, oh my God, BurgerFi, so long ago. Honestly, full disclosure, I sold those like few shares I had for GameStop a while back, and I haven't kept up with it since. I thought it had potential, but then I just came down to the thought that at the end of the day, they're just making burgers. It's not innovative or unique. So I just kind of decided to move away from it, and I just started to love GameStop. So I was like, all right, whoop, what's going on here? There we go. So yeah, I essentially sold it because I just didn't. I was like, it's nothing groundbreaking here. So I just decided like, why not just put it into GameStop? But I made the BurgerFi video because I want to just make a different type of video, like trying the burger because I was in Florida and that's like where they're primarily based out of. So yeah, again, I'm sure it has potential, but because the whole thing was too, they were, or what I saw in it, I guess so to speak, is they were expanding. I believe it was Saudi Arabia, and like Saudi Arabia has like a lot of demand for burgers and like they need more burger joints. That's kind of like their international expansion angle of things. And I thought, well, they could go a lot of different places. But again, what I boiled down to me for two was I was like, one, I don't think the company's financials were the greatest. And two, I was like, at the end of the day, it's not something groundbreaking or unique. So I feel like I'm not getting like the best bang for my buck, so to speak. Like there might be money to be made, but I just believe like I wanted to be more invested in like truly what I believe. So I know in that video like a long time ago I said, "Oh, I have like a few shares just laying around in IRA," but even those now are just changed to GameStop, honestly. And will I stream for earnings? Yes, I actually really do plan to. Usually it's gonna be on a Tuesday. I usually can work from home Tuesday, so barring nothing changes, I should be able to stream right after the earnings call. That's what I'm kind of going for. It's just a matter of like, can I read the earnings or a little bit beforehand, just depending how busy the end of the day work is. But I think probably just go through the earnings live, like maybe right after the earnings call, because usually I stream like 7 p.m. But maybe that day it'll be like a 5:15, 5:30 start. Just get the ball rolling early. Are you buying puts on Silvergate? Nee, thank you for being here. But no, I'm not gonna do Silvergate. It's crazy. It's basically they said they're just going bankrupt, right? They basically said like they're unwinding, from what I understand. So having said that, oh, I want to get this game going. I'm not touching it personally because I think it's already down like a ton in the after hours. Let's see. SI stock. Damn, I'm doing too many things at once. The app keeps like disconnecting. Yeah, oof, this thing's been crushed. It's crazy because for what I understand about Silvergate, it used to just be some like super like it's been around forever, right? And it used to be some super tiny bank that like literally nobody knew. And then like somewhere in here, I guess when they went public, they're like, hey, let's do this whole crypto thing. And they just basically started being involved very heavily. Like we kind of became a go-to name in this space. And we saw the price action here. Then, kind of right at the peak of crypto, it kind of peaked out. And it's insane how much it's come down. And now they think they pretty much said to shut down, liquidate crypto friendly. Yeah. So really wipes out the bank. That's crazy. It's literally shutting down completely. How's it not like at zero? Right? I mean, if they're shutting down, I thought it'd be even more. But let's say investor relations. Always good to go to the source. Um, let's see, new hero. See, it's interesting. Oh, okay. I can link my congregate on my phone to here. Let's see. Relations. Oh yeah, if you guys ever want to email me, you have any questions or thoughts or whatever, tetroninvestrelations@gmail.com. I'm, definitely not like consistently monitoring it, that inbox, because I don't be getting like hella emails. But if you guys ever want to just share something with me, or honestly just DM me stuff on Twitter or stuff like that, I'm around. I just kind of like to read things and just keep an eye on things. So if you ever got anything. All right, interesting. I'm logged in. I don't know why this is my picture. I don't know if you guys can see. That's very interesting. Um, I saw BurgerFi when I did some research on their investor presentation. They bought a pizza and wings place that's at about 60 locations. That's interesting, GME stock. I definitely got to follow up on them. I'm curious. Definitely got to take a look and see what they've been up to lately. Just out of curiosity. Don't know if I would invest in them necessarily, but it's certainly interesting. Um, Xbit says thoughts on Bill Gates. I don't like him. I don't like him. And the fact that Microsoft now owns a big part of ChatGPT, very alarming. Like, very, very alarming. And I don't know. I don't want to get too tinfoily, but I don't like Bill Gates. I think he's all about the plant-based food, and like he had like and suddenly like and he's buying up all this farmland. It's like, bro, why are you buying up all the farmland? Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what's going on with that? And also, don't forget that had this speech, right? I'll show you this. I don't know if anybody knew about this. Like, again, not to get too tinfoily, like talking about Ebola. And then he does another one. Like, I don't know. Come on, bruh. Like, just too relevant. Yeah, of course. He's such a hero, right? I don't know. I don't like the guy. Exactly. ChatGPT. Says Gail Glory says can't stop, won't stop. Let's fucking go GameStop. Gail Glory, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Let's see the news. I want to get it exactly. Have you talked about BBY recently? Not so much. Honestly, I'm just kind of skeptical of BBY. I think, it's possible for them to turn around, but they're really going to have to push and they're going to have to make a lot of things happen. And I just honestly, personally don't see the vision for like the ties to GameStop or G-America. I think there's a lot that could happen there, and there's a lot probably bound to happen in just news. But what exactly necessarily, I don't know. And just honestly, I don't cover it too much. I'm sure there is things going on that's interesting to look at, but just not necessarily like my cup of tea. And I just feel like it doesn't have GameStop ties. I'm sorry, that's just what I personally think in terms of that. But hey, I mean, it's certainly interesting to keep an eye on, and I do wish everybody in it the absolute best of luck. And voluntarily liquidate. Let's see. The official reading. Let's see. This is interesting. I'm gonna play this game later as I'm going to bed. I'm gonna just mess around on this app just cause it's all about like trying the games. I feel like with Web3. Let's see. Playing it safety, say it, it's trash talk. Yeah, I guess you're right, Oliver. I guess I am feeling a little nice. Oh, Marantz, no, BBY isn't possibly safe. Wait for the next video. I'm making a masterpiece. All right, Marantz, I'm ready. I'm ready to see it. But yeah, I mean, it's a messy situation over there. I think maybe I was sugarcoating a little bit, to be honest. Uh, can you give some preview or stuff you're looking into for the earnings? Report or call. Yeah, so I guess just some general things I'm looking for is any commentary on potential for acquisitions, partnerships, more so specifically Web3. I really feel like any kind of partnerships would be very exciting. I had talked about before this over here, Midnight Society. The major guy involved in this is Dr. Disrespect. And I think he just has a great personality. He's just very unique. And for streamers to be involved in some way, with GameStop, or just maybe like if they're streaming the games that wind up on GameStop's platform, or Midnight Society has a partnership with GameStop's platforms, or it all kind of starts to tie together in some way. I think that'd be very exciting, but will we necessarily see that on the earnings? I'm not sure, but maybe we see some indication that takes individuals, down the rabbit hole. Like, oh, well, they brought up this company or they mentioned this thing that leads to the idea that maybe they're going about this. So just anything in general that points towards Web3, I really kind of want to see in terms of the growth. And then, of course, the numbers. One, the favorite for me personally is the DRS count. I obviously want to see how many shares have been directly registered. And then beyond that, I actually want to see earnings, like the actual top line revenue, how much of it is going to the bottom line, what is free cash flow looking like, and obviously how is the holiday season as a whole. But more so, what I'll look for down the line, obviously, I don't think they're going to put any guidance, and I think it'll be a short and sweet earnings call, is can they maintain profitability going into 2023? And I feel like the test really starts in 2023, where are we going to start to see this growth that it seems like they've kind of been preparing for? Is there the small possibility Gmerica launches? We find out more? Yes, but I would say it's unlikely. But at the same time, it'd be really exciting because it'd be like, wait a minute, GameStop never talks about anything on their earnings calls or announces anything during earnings. So maybe if this time was different because it's 3-21, right? Of course, that's just tinfoil. It's just a date at the end of the day. But it is funny how it's 3-2-1. Um, so yeah, those are kind of some of the general things I'm looking for. But I honestly think, like, just you have to read the report like head to toe, every little thing. For example, like something that was pretty noticeable on the last earnings. I don't think it was the first time it was there. It was like marketable securities. I'll be looking at that number again. So that's like what GameStop's cash is invested in marketable securities, like government securities, like T notes, and just like things you can actually put the money into like a high interest rate now, right? Or earn high interest on their cash essentially. So I'll see, are they going to add money more so to that? And Morantz brought up a good point in one of his videos. He calls it sandbagging, where those marketable securities, until they're sold or fully paid out in their value, they're based on the value they were acquired at, not including the interest they accumulate. So that would come down the line as additional income for GameStop, or additional cash flow rather. Let's check chat. See, can you give previous stuff? Okay. BBY has too many planets on the board. That's a good point, Snacks. Yes. Are you 100% DRS GME? It's a great question. The only non-DRS shares I have of GameStop are in my traditional IRA or my Roth IRA. Everything else, I personally choose to make the decision to directly register my shares. That's my choice. At the end of the day, everybody's an individual, and I really encourage everybody to do their research and due diligence before you move over to, if you're going to move shares to computer share, understand the company, understand what a transfer agent is. But me personally, yes, any non-IRA shares, I personally have registered in my name. BBY got some Citadel plants, right? Yep, that's kind of what it seems like, Danzo, unfortunately. I'm excited. Apollo 11. Earnings will be really exciting. I think so. I think so, Nate. It's always something with, like, even not always something, but well, what am I doing here? Everything just fell apart. Let's say, yeah, earnings are always exciting because it's just an update of where the company's at, and just like I was kind of saying before, like early on in the stream, is the only reliable source of information you can get for GameStop is right here. GameStop's own filings, GameStop's own investor relations. So when they release earnings, it's from GameStop themselves, so there's no bullshit, you know? That's what I really like about earnings as a whole. Just there's no bullshit. It's as simple as that. Um, I'm writing a letter to GME requesting a bigger selection of STEM sensory toys and games. 1 in 64 families are impacted by neurological condition. That's a big market. Oliver's, that's awesome, man. That is actually awesome. Yeah, I think everybody, if you have any ideas at all, you might think like, oh, I'm just some random person. Like, send an email to GameStop's investor relations, right? They have their information here, or I'm sure you already kind of have that since you're preparing to send it over. And I was kind of showing before for stockholders, for media. So obviously for stockholders, you want to send it here, but then for transfer agent matters, they even have the direct contact information here. I'm writing a letter to you. Oh yeah, so I just read that. But yeah, that's very interesting, Oliver. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, because neurological conditions are yeah absolutely out there. So yeah, having games that relate to, or I would have to look into what you mean more, to be honest with you, in regards to some examples. But I know I know what you're saying generally, but like I can't like put it in words. But I like the idea, is what I'm saying here. Do you think they get positive earnings this quarter? Yeah, I think absolutely it's on the table, just considering it's Q4 especially. And I was kind of saying before, I really feel like positive earnings throughout the next several quarters is even more important than this quarter, just because historically Q4 for GameStop has always been very profitable and just, or not necessarily very profitable, but just a very strong quarter relative to the rest, just because of the nature of their business as a whole right now. Always generally been more so retail. But I feel like, as they move more towards Web3, eventually something we'll see on their income statement or how their revenue is broken down. I think we're going to start to see that it's like e-commerce, in-store, and then Web3, right? Maybe that's a very general thing to say, but I think eventually we'll see how much revenue starts coming from the Web3 space in the long run of things. And when that starts to happen, I think that's really exciting because then Q4 wouldn't be as favored. It'd be like, okay, well, people game year round, so that's more year round revenue, and that just kind of rounds everything out in the business as a whole, in my opinion, in the long run. Um, it's a great bus to get into. All right, let's look this up. Um, let's see. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. That is definitely a huge market. And I feel like now too, like especially with everything going on, like just we're all like taught to have such short attention spans. Like I really try not to watch like YouTube shorts and like TikToks and stuff. And I just worry for like kids, man. Like it's scary to me, like being a young individual, like 22. Like I want to have kids one day, like definitely like sooner than later. Or like I don't know, like things you got to see what happens or whatever. But it's scary to bring a kid into this world. I feel like there's so much, and kids, get so messed up just from short, just slide, 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 right? So it's hard, like attention spans and like, yeah, it's crazy, man. But let's see if GameStop has anything now on their website for this. Do you think GameStop will have any Web3 related stuff in the store? I think eventually, kind of something I've been looking out for is eventually GameStop going to have it where a digital collectible, like whatever item you buy maybe in store, also comes with a digital collectible. Oh, score a $10 welcome reward. Oh, anybody that's not a pro member, you should go do this right now. You save $5 every month and get that pro reward. 2% back in rewards. All right. Um, okay, guys. I promised my wife I would spend some time with her tonight. I was duped. She's been planning to watch Farmers, looking for a wife or something. Has to be in love for after 20 years. Nah, Ruben, it's crazy. Yeah, that's funny, but yeah, definitely they need some more games because yeah, these look like the only ones they have on here right now, actually. But yeah, to kind of go back to like the girlfriend and like slash wife thing. Yeah, I'm pretty serious with my girlfriend, so I really think maybe one day, you know, see how it goes and have kids and stuff. So that'd be kind of crazy. But it's scary, like I said, in this world, and then there's just so much going on. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of off topic, um, but Ruben, I'm happy you're happy. Great stock, but that's all. But they got going from as a company, they ruined it. Look what they did with ThinkGeek. Star Panda, thank you for tuning in. Personally, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think they do still have a lot going for them in terms of Web3, and I think what you're speaking of in regards to ThinkGeek. That's not really been the Cohen era. So I think maybe you're just kind of not seeing the Web3 side of things. That's all right. Just kind of keep an eye on it. I think it's worth keeping an eye. But yeah, no, they definitely need more stuff like this, and this has got to be a strong category. But yeah, I wonder what other stuff we could suggest they add as individuals. So just like the stock. Let's see. Something super new, interesting that stands out. This thing too, I really encourage everybody to, just go through GameStop's website, go through their marketplace, like just just start seeing things. Like you just all of a sudden when you see something in the future, you're like, I saw that before on GameStop's marketplace, or like I don't know how to describe it, but just reading and just observing things over time, like things just start to click, if that makes sense. And even just, I feel like just going through GameStop's website, let me see what's going on with PlayStation, let me see what's going on with Funko. It just gives you an idea of like the way the company's presenting itself and just all these small things. I feel like they really matter over time. And I feel like that's what makes GameStop so special is that there's so many individuals like myself that just want to go through GameStop. Like in terms of like when I want to buy something, I want to buy it from GameStop. Like my favorite thing to buy from GameStop consistently is batteries. I mean, like I don't buy them that often, like how many batteries you need. But if you need batteries and I'm going to get them somewhere anyway, why did I not get the GameStop brand, right? Because I just love the company and like I'm going to place an online order anyway, add some batteries with it. Shit. LL Ruben. Have a great night, Rubes. But yeah, honestly, Ruben's going, and it is kind of getting late. I think I might have to wrap it up too, because I do want to record a video tonight or try it. I was saying before, I have an old stream that I did where I was highlighting this, and I kind of want to go back, download that, clip it up together, make a video out of it, talking about Dillard's stock. Say it before, and I'll say it again. Dillard's is a great case study of a company that's delivered shareholder value through buying back stock, dividends, family run that's directly registering shares in their name. I think it's just a great case study of a company that, by the way, hasn't even really raised their revenue like dramatically or anything like that. It's not like they've done any massive growth. They just delivered shareholder value and just GameStop stock. I'm sorry, not GameStop. Their stock has performed well over time. See, like the revenue, nothing massive. But yet, look at their stock price over the past few years, and look at many other stock prices after everything started declining throughout 2022. And again, I'm not telling you to invest in Dillard's. I'm saying it's just a great case study and a great example of individuals directly registering their shares and shareholder value just being delivered in the long run. Um, as a customer, it doesn't seem to be worth it for me now. As a stockholder, definitely worth it. LOL. No, that's fair, I guess. As an investor, they should add Bitcoin ATM in their brick and mortar stores. I think that'd be interesting, GME stock, but honestly, I feel like that's not exactly like their cup of tea, or I feel like people wouldn't really necessarily be going in there for that. And then you'd also have, I feel like people that are going to be like, oh, why are they crypto? That just don't quite get it yet. You know what I mean? Maybe they just look in the store like, oh, why do they have a Bitcoin ATM? So like, I see where your head's at with that, but I feel like it could have some negative connotation just from like the silliness of like NFTs like being left over, and I don't know. I feel like it could be used against them if that kind of makes sense, and just maybe not necessarily their cup of tea. But yeah, Dillard's I think is a great case study again of just shareholder value being delivered. And you can see, like, see, it doesn't take much for the stock to move. Like, there's not even a lot of volume in this period, and look how much the stock went down. It went from like 400 to 335, and then it's just after earnings. Doesn't take much to move the stock, and then it kind of just trades choppy sideways, and it's kind of reminds me of GameStop. And I just feel like Dillard's didn't even have massive growth, and they were able to deliver shareholder value. So, imagine growth over time and the potential of massive short interest suppressed, just potentially, right? And the company growing and just managing their cash well and just operating efficiently. And I believe in the people running it, so I believe that will continue to happen so long as they're running it. Ethereum ATM, hey, XBIT, that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, I think that would be, again, I mean, I think it would make sense with their business. And I think Ethereum a little bit more than Bitcoin. But again, I feel like people who maybe will walk by the store and be like, oh, why do they have that? And like, just the nature of the world we're in, like, it could honestly make them lose customers. I think. I mean, I don't know. It's just a perspective because I just feel like I know so many people like, tell me everyone on this stream right now doesn't know at least one person that if you say crypto or NFT, they're like, you know what I'm saying? Or not like scared of it, but they just start shitting on it and like you ask the why, but like they don't have a really valid reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of rambling here. So I might have to kind of wrap it up. Also getting tired. I want to get a couple other things done. Just keep working on the stream overlay, working on videos and just ideas and just organizing. So hard to be organized, guys. I don't know. That's something I struggle with so much. Just because there's so much information I was reading, so much stuff just going on always. But yeah, it's crazy. PLBY stock may be the worst example of not delivering shows value. They have greedy board members who take a ton of money from shareholders. Let's see. It's PLBY. And that's pretty messed up, GME stock. And yeah, that's why it's important to do research and due diligence. It makes sense what you're saying, considering the performance in this 52-week range here. Oof. Yeah. Seems like a good old pump and dump, just elongated. Let's see, GameStop stock. I was at the corporate, so there's not much there. Ryan seems to be gutting the company when 6 managers and 4 supervisors walk out. Not good. I don't know where you heard that, Star Panda. That's interesting. I don't think that's what's going on. And I do find it interesting that the articles that come out and say, oh, well, GameStop employees walked out or this or that or whatever supposedly happened. Those articles, if you look at the same companies that launched those articles, for example, on Twitter, if you look at their retweets and likes on that particular article compared to all their other ones, it's usually highly dramatically more. And it's like, do people really share that story or is it being pushed to the masses for a reason? That's what I have to ask. And I just don't think Ryan's gutting from the company within. Why? How would he be gutting the company from within? Or why? If he bought shares prior to everything that's happened since January of 2021, he was buying his stake in late 2020. And he's only bought shares since in March of 2022. So I would find it really odd to just buy and hold a stock as chairman of the board, but at the same time you're gutting it. Like, why would he waste all his money and time to do that? It just seems silly to me. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but hey, I just don't think that makes sense. Hi, friends. Got more shares today. It's going to be an XXXXX shareholder soon. Damn, Anthony G. Respect, brother. Respect. But thank you for being here. To be honest, PLBY has a lot of value in their balance sheet, but struggles because of how much they pay their board members. See, that's a good analysis, GME stock, where on the surface it probably looks good, but that you did your due diligence and research, you were able to find that information and think, maybe this ain't it for me. Yeah, because you could look at it and say, well, not the nicest balance sheet at a glance here. Of course, Yahoo Finance isn't always up to date, but people could look at it and go, I don't understand. They make 300 million in revenue last year. How's this their market cap? Well, when they're just being run into the ground, it's the market kind of just catches up with it over time. Or I guess market are just individuals seeing what's going on. Or when we go through what we went through throughout 2021 and just a decline, like if you look at the 1-year chart, like bullshit starts to bubble to the surface, if that makes sense. I think that's possible. What do they even do? I'm curious. Pleasure and leisure company worldwide. Less direct consumer. Oh, wellness. Oh, Jimmy stock. What kind of companies you researching out here? Nah, I'm just messing with you. But that's funny. I didn't even realize that's what they do. Digital casino and social games and other home and hospitality things. Very interesting. But yeah, I think I am going to wrap it up here. An XBit, you're spitting some facts. I think, yeah, you got to compare the liabilities to the debt versus assets. So just look at GameStop's balance sheet You know, it's definitely oh, is it actually Playboy? I'm so dumb, bro. I didn't even realize. Yeah, that makes I'm so stupid. Playboy group. Yeah, that makes sense. That's mad funny. I was like, "What's PLBY?" But that's crazy that happened to their stock like that. Like, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, alright guys. You didn't know it was Playboy? Yeah, I know, I'm stupid, XBit. I literally was like, what's PLBY? I literally feel like a clown. But I think that's, I'm just like burnt right now. I'm just tired, yo. I gotta rest. Well, not rest. I gotta make a video, then I gotta rest. But yeah, so I think that's it for today's stream. But thank you all so much. Let's see. It doesn't, but what he is doing, I watched him do it. Right now, they still do not have management. Not trying to be rude, but I do know firsthand, sadly. I mean, Star Panda, I hate to say it, but that's kind of trust me, bro. So I mean, you could say what you like, Star Panda, or think what you like, and that's fine. I'm not sure why you're invested if you don't feel that confident. Then that's kind of my question here. But hey, you do you. At the end of the day, thank you for tuning into the stream. Xbit, thank you for being here. Bad funny. GME Stock, thank you for being here. Snacks, thank you for being here. Anthony G, Oliver's. Who else was here before? Danza, if you're still here. Ruben, I know Ruben dipped. Knee. Everyone who's been in the comments, thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great night.